Hello and welcome to my preview of the 19th week in the Barclays Premier League. And yes, we are in we've started to go into the second half of the season already. Only a couple of days to go until the January transfer window opens, and your team can make a couple of purchases if they need to. But we'll talk about the 19th week, the 10 fixtures, 10 tantalising fixtures, may I say. So we'll go to Upton Park, where West Ham will face West Bromwich Albion, and I see that game just being a 1-1 draw right off the bat. West Ham are decent at home, and West Bromwich Albion are coming off a nice 1-1 win to Tottenham at White Hart Lane. So I think that they'll go back to London again with the same mentality and try and get a positive result, which I think they will. Aston Villa will face Swansea City at Villa Park, and Aston Villa are in quite a slump recently. They didn't win last week to Crystal Palace, and I don't think they'll win this week again, even though Swansea lost to Chelsea, and again have kind of had a bit of an up and down season. I think that the Swansea side, as it stands right now, is has a little bit more quality in it and a bit more potency than the Aston Villa side. It doesn't help when you've got the likes of, I think it's Kozak who's injured, and Christian Benteke, of course, who's out. That really just weakens Villa's firepower up front, so I can see Swansea going to Villa Park and getting the 3 points there. At the KC Stadium, Hull City will face Fulham, and after Hull's impressive outing last week against Manchester United, even though they lost, they really just showed what Hull City can do. And I think that even though they did lose last week at the KC Stadium, but this week they're against Fulham, a weaker opponent than United were, and so I think it really shouldn't cause Steve Bruce's side too much problems. That being said, though, Fulham did beat Norwich away from home last week, and so Fulham aren't as bad as people may think they made out to believe that they are. I think that Fulham can cause a bit of problems, and they haven't been playing with Dimitar Berbatov in the side for the past couple of weeks, so is he going to go in January or not? We'll have to wait and see. But in terms of this game, I see Hull City just easily being able to beat Fulham and pick up a nice 2-0 victory there. This next game, really, in my mind, is how many goals can City score and Palace concede. No offence to the Crystal Palace, but it's Manchester City versus Crystal Palace at the Etihad Stadium. And City, I think, are going to continue to keep their 100% home record alive. I think that they'll put 4 goals past Crystal Palace on the day, who won't be able to score any themselves. And I just think, again, Crystal Palace, they have been in a good bit of form recently. Last week, picking up a nice 1-0 win against Aston Villa. That was away from home, but they're not going to do that against Manchester City. And I think that City overall just have too much quality for Tony Pulis' side. Carrow Road is where Norwich will play host to Manchester United, and I think that Manchester United are in a good bit of form recently, getting last week picking up a nice 3-2 win at Hull City, and the week before that picking up a 3-1 win at home, that's at Old Trafford, to West Ham. So they've got a good bit of run of form, and I think David Moyes has found stability in his side, and I think that they can go to Carrow Road. It'll be a hard-fought win, don't you worry, because Norwich are actually quite a good side when it comes to playing the bigger clubs, because they play more compact, and I think that United, however, will get the win there 2-1. This next game is really intriguing. At Cardiff City Stadium, it's Cardiff, again, playing host to Sunderland. And both sides, or Sunderland, definitely surprised me last week with a nice 1-0 win against Everton. And for Cardiff, again, a bit of a depressing loss to 3-0 at home to Southampton. And my reasoning last week that I thought Cardiff was going to win was that they would rally behind Malky Mackay. And the fans would get up and really strive and push on their players, but that hasn't been the case, and I'm not sure whether that will be the case this week again. Sunderland, quite impressive last couple of outings, and I think Gus Poyetz has found a routine and a solid starting 11 that he can really back and rely on. And so I think that this game will be very even, and I believe that it'll end in a goalless draw. Goodison Park is where Everton will face Southampton. So two of the teams that really haven't been mentioned at the start of the season to be in the top four or title contenders, but as recently as last week, both were in the hunt. Everton did lose. They were down at 10 men, and they did lose at home to Sunderland. So they probably do need to get back on that winning form, because I think Everton's a side that are all about momentum, and same as Roberto Martinez, they need to continue that string of wins up. And as for Southampton, they did go to Cardiff and put 3 past them, so it's very interesting. And both teams like to play similar styles, both set up in 4-2-3-1 formations, and so I'm not sure who can really get the win, and I'm only going to pick Everton, just narrowly edging out Southampton 2-1 on the basis that it's just at Goodison Park. But again, this fixture could go either way. It's just very hard to tell at this moment in time. On to Sunday's games, where at St James's Park, it'll be the high-flying Newcastle taking on Arsenal. And I don't think in any of my previews I've actually tipped Arsenal to draw or to lose. I've just always tipped them to win. However, in this game, I'm going to break the trend, because I saw Newcastle put 5 past Stoke, and I'm just feeling a bit edgy and a bit nervous that something of that not similar to that effect could happen, but that Arsenal may not in fact pick up any points in this fixture. So I'm going for Newcastle 1, Arsenal 1. Newcastle at home have been very good, and Arsenal recently, only until last week, hadn't really got a really solid performance and a solid victory under their belt. So I think that Arsenal are still a bit fragile at the back by missing out Koscielny, and I think Newcastle possibly can really take advantage of that. So I'm just going for a 1-1 draw at St James's Park. This is probably the best fixture of the week. At Stamford Bridge, it's Chelsea playing host to Liverpool, and this fixture is going to be shrouded in controversy, not only because it's two really good teams and they're both vying for the title, but of the Luis Suarez, Branislav Ivanovic arm-biting incident. So it'll definitely pay attention to this game for sure. I think that both sides are very even in the way that they play. Chelsea do like to play a counter-attacking style of play. That's how Jose Mourinho likes. He likes everyone to get back and defend, and then really hit you hard, fast, and definitely very effective on the counter-attack. Whereas Liverpool, they like to play not really a slow sort of possessive game, but they do like to control the ball and make sure that they're the ones dominating and controlling the game. So it'll be interesting to see how those two opposite styles of play stylistically match up against one another. But I'm going, because I can't separate both teams, I'm going for Chelsea 2, Liverpool 2, and I expect Suarez to be on the score sheet, and it's just going to be an intriguing tactical and an entertaining match, that's for sure. The final game, staying in London at White Hart Lane, will be Tottenham versus Stoke City, and I think that Stoke City are just going to be on a bit of a decline right now. I think that Mark Hughes needs to strengthen in the January transfer window, but he's still got this game to get over before them, and so I think that Tim Sherwood and the new management and the new reinvigorated players at Tottenham can have a field day at home in front of their home fans before the new year, and so I'm going for Tottenham to finish off Stoke City in that game 2-0. And so those are my predictions for the 19th week here. Again, I hope I predicted your team. If they win, they win, and if they don't, well, again, you've got so many more fixtures to pick up, however many points you need to stay up and promoted, and also if your team's competing for the championship, to pick up as many points as you can to win the title. So again, the fixtures are very closely compounded. I've said that for many a week, and there's not going to be too much more breaks in the next week. So I'll see you guys very soon. Stay tuned for more, and goodbye.